Welcome to San Jose State University, home of the Spartans. I'm Thalia Nagnos, Vice Provost of Undergraduate Education. No matter what your dreams are, we want to support you in achieving your goals with the wealth of academic programs and co-curricular opportunities that we offer. We have more than 200 undergraduate degrees and minors that include diverse areas of study in science, engineering, health professions, the humanities and arts, business, education, and social sciences. We take pride in our emphasis on hands-on learning and opportunities for students to apply what they've learned to real-world issues. Our location in the heart of Silicon Valley allows you to readily connect what you are learning with our local communities and industries. For example, many of our students engage in service learning and internships with local companies, government agencies, and nonprofits. Through our award-winning Com University program, SJSU students collaborate with local residents on projects aimed at building and maintaining vibrant, healthy neighborhoods. Our magnificent library has amazing resources to help you excel in your studies, such as collaboration spaces, 3D printers, a sound studio, a virtual reality lab, and much more. At our state-of-the-art Spartan Recreation and Aquatic Center, you can swim in the 50-meter pool, work out on strength and cardio equipment, or test your agility on the climbing wall. Our Peer Connection Center offers free tutoring and mentoring to support your academic and social well-being. The Office of Research and Innovation offers grants to support undergraduate involvement in research projects. These are just a few examples of the many resources throughout the university to ensure that you have all that you need to grow and thrive. As a new student, you may not have a well-defined idea of what you want to study. That's okay. We have hundreds of ways for you to explore what you're interested in and to meet other students with your same passions. Here are just a few examples. Join one of our 450 student clubs. Go to a theater performance put on by our talented students. Attend an athletic event. Compete on an intramural sports team. Perform with a dance troupe. Take advantage of the many guest speakers we bring to campus. Explore outdoor adventure programs offered by Spartan Recreation. Study abroad. Engage in a research opportunity. Write for the newspaper or be a voice on our award-winning radio station. Join a service learning project. Getting involved will help you figure out what you love and will lead to wonderful and rich experiences at San Jose State. There are so many exciting co-curricular programs to explore, friends to meet, memories to be made. Before you know it, you will be celebrating your graduation and moving on to another new phase in your journey.
Alrighty, good evening, future Spartans, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining our annual Becoming a Spartan event hosted by SJSU Student Outreach and Recruitment and the Spartan Eastside Promise program. Before we get started here, we do have one more welcome from our campus. Aren't they amazing? Our SJSU marching band and our School of Music and Dance. So once again, thank you so much for joining us. For those of you that just joined on, congratulations. Welcome to our Becoming a Spartan event. My name is Amanda Aldama. I'm the Spartan Eastside Promise Program Lead. And if you are here tonight either you, your student, or that student that you are supporting has just been admitted to San Jose State. They've received that provisional admission notice. Congratulations. This time would be like, give yourselves a round of applause. This is an incredible accomplishment. We can't wait for you to join the Spartan community here. So once again, my name is Amanda Aldama. I'm the Spartan Eastside Promise Program Lead. I honestly consider myself a Spartan through and through. I've been here for over 10 years now. First as a student completing my bachelor's, working on my master's, and then of course working here. I absolutely love what I do, being able to be serving as the Spartan Eastside Promise Program Lead, especially not just being an SJSU graduate, but being a graduate of the Eastside Union High School District as well. I graduated from Silver Creek High School way back in the day. So excited to be here, be able to work with the community that I grew up in and help you with that next step to be able to transition from high school to college. I personally know how honestly sometimes scary that experience can be, how uncertain. I was a first generation student, the first in my family to not only go to college, but just graduate high school. So it was definitely an experience where I needed a lot of support. I had so many questions, and that's why I'm so passionate to be able to support you tonight, to have our whole team of Spartans. We have multiple departments here, our student success centers, our team as well, to be able to address your questions, your concerns, and just help you with that next step, right? So as we go ahead and get started here, what is tonight going to look like? Well, first, we're going to cover the next step. So the intent to enroll process, what you need to do in order to become a Spartan. Second, we're going to have breakout sessions with our student success centers to be able to have that time to learn about your specific college. So if you're in the College of Business, Humanities and Arts, Health and Human Sciences, whatever that is, you'll be able to have that opportunity. Now, keep in mind, we're going to do this in 2 sessions. The first session will be for students that were admitted to that major. So take a moment to look at your menu bar, whether that's at the top or the bottom of your screen. Usually it's at the bottom. There will be something, it's not there yet, but you'll see something that says breakout rooms when we get to that section. You're going to have the chance to join the breakout room for the college, or rather for the major for the college that you were admitted to. We'll cover that in a second as well. Now, if you are admitted to a major, but you're like, I think I want to switch majors, or, I was admitted to undeclared through the Spartan Eastside Promise, and I'm really interested in forensic science. I'm really interested in theater arts. That's where session 2 comes into play, where then you have that opportunity to go to the Success Center's room for the major you're thinking about switching to. If you're like, no, I'm good, I am in my ideal program, I'm set, then you'll stay in the main room, and we're going to talk about a couple other steps and preparation techniques, okay? Lastly, we're going to end on the note of our Spartan Eastside Promise summer program that is here to guide you, and we'll talk about that near the end. But if there's any questions at all, please feel free to utilize the chat. This is going to be where either myself or any of our team members will be able to assist you there. But are you ready to be a Spartan? Let's get right into it. Starting off with some terms and information that you need to be familiar with. So these terms I'm going to use throughout the presentation. So do make sure that you are familiar with them, that if you have any questions with them, that you take that screenshot. These terms are going to be used even in your messaging. So you want to make sure that you know what's up. So first off, next step. That is the online 3-step process that you have to complete by May 1st in order to complete this process with intent to enroll. We'll go over those steps in thorough detail in a moment, but it is absolutely essential that if you want to come to San Jose State in fall 2021, that you complete them by May 1st. Second, provisional admission. So right now, you've been offered provisional admission. Yay, congrats. But that provisional admission is based off of the information that you provided us on your application. We looked at your grades, we looked at the classes that you're enrolled in and said, okay, everything looks good. You're on track to complete your A through Gs by the time you graduate with a C- or better. You've so far met the deadlines. If you continue to meet the deadlines, because we are in a very deadline-driven school, there is no exceptions or extensions for a deadline. If you miss it, you miss it. So make sure that you are following through. The other requirement is our Sparta Camp orientation. If you attend that, it's mandatory, so you have to attend that. But if you don't attend it, if you miss a deadline, if you miss a fee, then something happens called a withdrawal, where your application is withdrawn and you will not be attending San Jose State in the fall. The other reason a withdrawal can happen is, let's say you're like, all right, I've been admitted, and you get a D your second semester of senior year English. We do need all 4 years of that pass with a C- or better, so that would cause a withdrawal as well. So do keep in mind, we are a very deadline-driven campus. You have mandatory requirements to complete from now, throughout this time. So make sure that if you have any questions or there's any difficulties, communication is going to be key. Make sure that you reach out, you ask those questions that you have, okay? Moving right along onto our health advisor's website. So a lot of questions we've been getting, naturally, of course, is what is fall going to look like? Are we going to be in person? Is it going to be virtual? Is it going to be a hybrid? To be completely transparent with you, we are right now abiding by the state and the county guidelines. As we're moving towards safer tiers, we are taking those precautions and planning for whether we're going to be in person. And the goal is to be in person, but our Spartan safety is a #1 concern. We want to make sure that you are safe in your learning environment. So that being said, check our health advisory's website, sjsu.edu/health advisors. We'll have all of the latest information. We actually have some information from our welcome in our admitted Spartan Days session on Saturday, where our Vice President of Student Affairs gave some additional information. So any questions you have, always check that website. Feel free to reach out. If I have anything, I'll let you know. But honestly, we want to make sure that your safety is priority. So as soon as information comes out, check your messages. That is going to be so key in this part. Commitment is key. Whether you come to San Jose State or another school, hopefully you come to San Jose State, we really want you here, right? Commitment is going to be key for this process. There are multiple messages, multiple steps, deadlines that you have to meet, and it is your responsibility to do so. If you miss a deadline or you're like, no, I'm going to just have my parents watch my messages, it's your mission. It's your space at San Jose State. So it is your responsibility to follow through. And again, ask questions. If you don't know, I know I had a billion questions when I was applying to San Jose State. So definitely make sure you take that time to ask those questions. Now, what this process looks like so far, it's going to be 3 steps. Starting off with step 1, do you plan to enroll for fall 2021? Yes or no? Choosing your Spartan Camp orientation date, you get to choose the date that you plan to attend. And then, of course, paying an enrollment deposit fee. It's about a $100 fee that is non-refundable. We'll talk about that in a little bit more detail, but I do want to highlight that email that is on the top left of your screen, nextsteps@sjsu.edu. If you are having any difficulties with any of the steps, or maybe had students that can't even access their site because there was a duo issue or they forgot their password or whatever that is, nextsteps@sjsu.edu is going to be your go-to, but feel free to CC me on those emails, but Next Step is going to be your main go-to. One SJSU is also going to be your hub. So if you haven't already bookmarked this page, make sure that you do, because one.sjsu.edu is going to be the place where you're going to access your MySJSU account. Once you do your intent to enroll and you have your SJSU email, that's there. Canvas, we'll talk about in the next couple slides, but everything you need is there. Now, to access the Next Steps portal, there's 3 ways you could do this. The first is clicking on MySJSU, going to the message of your provisional admission and clicking the link there. The second, typing in Next Steps and clicking that first one of intent to enroll. And the third is just simply nextsteps.sjsu.edu. 3 ways for you to access this, try and make it as accessible as possible. Now, if you're going the MySJSU route, which I kind of recommend because that way you can get familiar with this account, you want to make sure you know where everything is here, right? So you have your messages, you have your to-do list items, but if you've never logged into your MySJSU account, and don't worry, I know there's a few students that haven't done that, do so today as soon as possible, like right once we're off the call, even if you do it from your phone, right? Log into your account, because if you've never logged into your account, the first thing you're going to see isn't this page. Instead, you're going to see a message that says, are you interested in registering for selective service or registering to vote or interested in information for CalFresh? These do not influence your admission. They are simply for informational purposes, where you can click learn more or click go to student center. And that's what gets you to this page where you can view your messages, view your to-do list items. Once you enroll in classes, you can see when your payment due date is, all of that good stuff. So make sure that you log into your account. You should be checking that account at least once a week, every other week at minimum. It is incredibly important. I cannot stress that enough, because this is where we send you the messages. This is how the university communicates with you. Once you're logged into Next Steps, it's going to look like this. Next Steps, the login page, you're going to go ahead and put in your SJSU ID, your password, and see that step 1 of your name, your ID, your major. The academic plan is a major that you were admitted to. Those 3 steps, so you can do step 1, intent to enroll. Also, you can download a copy of your admission letter. So have that on your record, just, save that. I still have mine, and as well as like the little certificate that came in the mail. My mom has that framed somewhere. And then this green $sign, super important. This is your financial aid award estimate. If you have already filled out the FAFSA or the California Dream Act. So if you've already done that, then you should be able to click this green check mark and see what that financial aid award estimate looks like. So definitely make sure that you go ahead and check that out. Now, if we go ahead and click on step 1, that intent to enroll, again, I'm going to say this like 15, 30, 50 times. You want to read everything. I know there's a lot of text, but it's so important. You don't want to miss any step of this process. So read through, see what those requirements are looking like, read through the information. And at the bottom, you're going to notice where there's a checkbox and it says your major. Now, this is, again, confirming. You need to click there that you understand and acknowledge which major that you have been admitted to and that you cannot change your major at this time. There's a later process, which again, session 2. So stay tuned. Click yes, you plan to be a Spartan this fall. Or if you're like, no, I'm actually going to go elsewhere, or I'm going to take a gap year, or whatever that might be, then you would click no. A box comes up that says, are you sure? Do you want to reconsider? Which we hope you say yes. But if not, again, wherever you plan to go, you want to make sure that college is that place that has that best fit for you, right? It's not just 4 or 5 more years of school or a lot of money for this piece of paper. You're going to college for that next step in your education, your career, and just for yourself. This is really that next step where you want to make sure that wherever you go, you see yourself there, that it's the right fit, that this is the place for you. So if San Jose State is not that place, then you would put your reason for the withdrawal, that you're going elsewhere, whatever that is, and click withdraw. But keep in mind, if that plan don't work out and it's April 30th, you're like, all right, I do want to go to San Jose State. If you've already clicked withdraw, you've forfeited your space for fall 2021. So do take some time to think this through before clicking that withdraw button, okay? But if you are ready and you're going to become a Spartan, then we move on to step 2, which is choosing your Sparta Camp orientation date. Sparta Camp orientation is a mandatory 2-day session. So this does not mean that we're online for 48 hours. We do not want to have that kind of Zoom fatigue. This is 2 days, about 4-hour sessions that you are engaging with your academic advisor with multiple resources. It is mandatory, so you absolutely have to attend. If you arrive late, if you leave early, if you simply just like, you know what, I'm not going to show up, Mo, it's fine. It's not fine. It is not fine. This is mandatory. So if you do not show up to orientation, you will be withdrawn. You are risking your admission for San Jose State for fall 2021. So if there's any issues, because I've had students come out and say, what if I have Wi-Fi problems or Zoom crashes or something along those lines? It is your responsibility. Again, it's your responsibility to contact New Student and Family Programs. Their emails here, their phone numbers here, immediately. If you don't show up, we're not mind readers. There's no way for us to know that there was an issue going on. We're just assuming you're not attending. So if there's any issues that happen, you're still like, I want to be a Spartan. There's just, my Wi-Fi is not working. We've had those days, right? Contact New Student Family Programs. Now, I do say, some students are like, okay, great. I could just say that and that's fine. It's serious. It's an important matter because Zoom has only so many spaces available for those sessions. So it's not as easy as just hopping into a next session because there's so many spaces. So as soon as an issue arises, truly an issue, contact their office. Now, before orientation, there are several steps you have to complete, such as a Spartan link module that's going to take place. You're going to get an email in your SJSU about when that's available for you. Your orientation canvas shell, which I'm sure our campus partners will be able to explain a little bit more detail later on. Anything that is coming up. Again, this is why it's so important for you to check your SJSU account at least once a week, every other week at the bare minimum, because any changes, any messages, any to-do list items will be showing up there from now until you are finalized, enrolled in classes starting in August. So make sure you are checking that account at least once a week, every other week. There's a confirmation here for you to be able to see, read through that. Also information on parent-family orientation. So if your parent, family, friend, guardian, next door neighbor, whatever supportive adult in your life wants some more information on how to best support you, that is a great way for them to get connected and learn more information. As we move on to step three is the enrollment deposit fee, which is a $100 non-refundable fee due by May 1st. So this is absolutely mandatory. I've had students say, I've had some issues paying this fee. I really want to go to San Jose State. If that is the case, of course, email next steps, email myself so we're aware of what's going on, but it is due by May 1st. So complete step one, complete step two, lock in that orientation date, but you have to pay this by May 1st. So if you're having any difficulties, please reach out for assistance. We can be able to talk through that, but it will be due by May 1st. It's absolutely essential to complete this 3-step process. And that's it. Those are the 3 steps to becoming a Spartan. Now, you can, again, download a copy of your admission letter and see that financial aid award estimate. For those of you that might have not seen this estimate yet, this is generally what it looks like. So you'll see that top part that says expected family contribution. So that based off of the information you put on the FAFSA, how much the government thinks that your family can be able to contribute towards your education. For just some reference, everyone's EFC is different. It's based off of income. My EFC at the time was 0 because we barely had enough money for the bills, right? The next box, total cost of attendance. I want you to focus on that $7,852. That is our tuition and fees. That's the amount that you would pay to us. These other fees of housing and meals on campus, that's if you're going to live on campus. Off campus, let's say you're going to be able to rent an apartment, right? When I went to San Jose State, I lived at home, thankfully rent-free at the time. So, that cost, I didn't have to worry about that. Those are estimates for you to prepare for those scenarios. Same with books and supplies and so forth. But that $7,800 is the tuition that we charge every academic year, half in the fall, the other half in the spring. Whatever money you are getting in your grants, right? That goes towards your tuition first. So if there's anything left, then you get that remainder to use for your books, for your laptop, SJSU sweater, things that you need for your education. So keep that in mind. It is for your educational needs, right? If there is not enough money to cover your tuition, right? Then you want to scroll down a little further to where it says loans and see how much is available there. Now, if you're not interested in taking out loans, that definitely is understandable, but I tell students really think about it as an investment in yourself, and work with our financial aid, work with our bursar's office, the development payment plan. And if you have any questions on how to read this, financial aid's information is there for their live chat, for their appointments as well. So let's go ahead and move on here. In the interest of time, I'm going to go ahead and just skip a couple slides here. Our frequently asked questions, we have several in the chat, which I will be addressing on the back end in a moment. But just to reiterate, at this time, you cannot change your major. Our campus partners will cover a little bit more information on that. You have to finish your A through Gs with a grade of C- or better by your high school graduation date, and that you cannot defer your admission. That admission must be for this term. If you're looking at another term, you will have to reapply. On-campus housing, hopefully you were able to attend the housing session. I know there's another one coming up, so I'll leave this up for just a second if you want to take a screenshot, but we have multiple options that are available for you, so keep that in mind, as well as our first year writing and math course placement. That is something incredibly important that you're going to want to check the supported instruction website. We're going to cover this. So for those of you that aren't thinking about switching your major, we're going to cover this a little bit more in that main room session during session 2. So definitely hang tight. And of course, there's will be a recording of this presentation posted. So if you are thinking of switching your major, don't worry, you're not going to miss out on this information as well. I just want to have these slides up here for you to preview and see where all that is coming from, that you have your deadlines coming up in terms of your final transcripts to be submitted to our admissions office by July 15th, any college transcripts, any AP or IB test scores, again, to our admissions office by July 15th, and your to-do list items will have any other deadlines that are imperative to this process. Okay, so that being said, looking at where our time is at right now, we want to make sure that we have time for our campus partners. So we are going to temporarily skip the review to go over to our campus partners. So give me one moment here, as we jump to that slide. Again, this information will be emailed to you as well. There's the recording there, but I want to take this moment to switch over to our campus partners in our breakout rooms. So you are going to see in a moment on your menu on the bottom, a breakout room here, that there are going to be 8 rooms for you to choose from, depending on which college you are going to join. So once again, these are where the rooms are. So room 1 is the College of Business, room 2, education, engineering, and so forth. If you're unsure which major your college belongs to, a quick Google search is SJSU Forensic Science or SJSU Sociology. When you click on that link at the very top of the screen on the left-hand side, it's going to say the department and then College of Humanities and the Arts or Health and Human Sciences, depending on what your major is. So once again, once you are ready, go ahead and jump into that breakout room here for your college. All right, so hopefully you were able to get that information that you needed there from your College Success Center. Now we are about to begin session 2. So session 2 is if you are thinking of switching your major at some point, then you want to make sure that you go to the session for the college that you're interested in. If you're not planning to switch, go ahead and stay in the main room. But once again, this is now for, for session 2. For session 2. Alrighty, for those of you that are just joining us again from the main room, we are about to begin session 2 here. So if you have not already joined that room, and if you're thinking of switching your major, then go ahead and move on to session 2. Session 2, it will be those same rooms, 1 for business, 2 for education, and so forth. We'll go ahead and reopen those rooms now for you all. So I'm going to go ahead and get this started as everyone is starting to come back here. Once again, session 2 is if you are planning to switch your major. So go ahead and go into that room for the program that you are thinking about switching your major to. Once again, if you're not sure which major your college belongs to, a quick Google search of SJSU and your major's name. And then when you click on that first link there and you see underneath it will say College of, so say Sociology, Department of Sociology, and College of Social Sciences as one example there. If you are not thinking about switching your major, if you're like, no, I'm pretty set, this is what I want to do, go ahead and stay in the main room. And we're going to talk about a couple other things that we did not get to yet, particularly in regards to the English and math preparation, the testing information, as well as our summer program.
Amanda, when you get a moment, can you move me? This is Hugo. Can you move me to room 4? Somehow
Yes,
I got booted out.
Gotcha, no problem. So go ahead and move you now.
Thank you.
No problem. Oops, start here. All right, so once again, go ahead and take a moment to join the session for the major that you are thinking of switching to. If you are not planning on switching your major, then instead, stay here in this main room. That way you are going to be able to hear a little bit more information regarding, excuse me, English and math for your first year. Once again, those breakout rooms are open now. So if you are thinking about switching, go ahead and do so to that breakout room. All right. Alrighty, so I'm assuming everyone in here is thinking about staying in that major. Is it possible to get Oh, and we got a request here, one moment. So let me go ahead and move a couple of you here who have requested, having some technical issues to be able to move, not a problem. If you're having any issues getting into a room, go ahead and just send me a chat and we'll go ahead and get you over there, not a problem at all. All right, looks like everyone else here is here. They're set, you're admitted to the major, great. All right, so going ahead, are you ready to be a Spartan? What these next steps are going to look like for those of you who are still with us here. I did want to take more time to focus on the English and math placement, or rather the English and math courses that you will be taking for your first year. So once again, one.sjsu.edu. If you have not already bookmarked this page is going to be key. This is going to be the hub for pretty much everything you'll need as your time as a Spartan. So first off, one thing I want to highlight is Canvas. Canvas you're going to be utilizing for orientation, to do an advising session, that you also have something along those lines of preparing for your orientation. That will be through Canvas. If you're going to be in our summer program, we're utilizing Canvas as well. That way you already get a head start in being familiar with the system. Now, the other great thing that Canvas can support, so it's very important that you learn about this and start to utilize it now, is because most, or pretty much a lot of classes do utilize Canvas as well. So especially while we're in distance learning, I know all of my classes utilize Canvas in terms of submitting assignments, going through lectures, discussions as well. So you want to be familiar with this program, and one SJSU is how you utilize it. Now, at this time, what it will look like, and you haven't gotten that message yet, it will be coming in the next few weeks regarding your English, your writing, first year writing. So keep an eye out for that. That module typically is available through Canvas, and keep an eye out for any messages as well regarding math, particularly if you have to do early start. Early start is our program offered over the summer for students that need assistance in terms of English and math, just to be ready. I think a lot of times this in past was based off of SAT scores, sometimes based off of your math GPA as well. You are taking classes that are GE classes. So GE, for those that aren't familiar, are like the college version of A through G. So we have our English, our math, and so forth. So you're taking a class that does meet your GEs, and it helps you to get ready and build community, right? You're getting connected with friends already before you even start in the semester. But again, one.sjsu, that is going to be your hub for everything, including your SJSU email. So after you submit your intent to enroll, sometime after, you're going to get an SJSU email. So for example, my email is my first name dot my last name at sjsu.edu. So you'd have something similar, and this is where a lot of your messages can go to as well, particularly if you're getting invited to an event or a program or something. So keep that in mind. You're going to want to be checking that. Now, to dive right into the math and writing course placement. For first year writing, this is a self-paced module that you absolutely have to complete at least 1 week prior to your Spartan Camp orientation. Now, it's not graded in that sense of, oh, if you don't turn this in, we're going to withdraw you. But if you don't turn it in, if you don't complete it before your orientation, you're not going to be able to enroll in an English class. And if you can't enroll in an English class and meet that requirement to complete English your first year, you could risk academic probation. So it is absolutely important you, once again, check your MySJSU account, read your messages. Once this message gets sent to you, that you complete that. It doesn't have to be all done in one sitting. You can go back and come to it. But what's important here is you get to see which English class is that best fit. What I mean by this is, for our classes, they're a semester in length. So right now, your classes are, if you have an English class, right? It is from early August all the way till early June. Same class. For us, our classes are semester in length. So mid-August, like mid to end of August to early December, 6-week winter break, and brand new classes end of January to early May. Now, when you're doing this assessment, this allows you to see, okay, is this, how is this going? Is this, a good fit? Am I able to do the semester? Great. Or you know what, I need a little bit more support. I need a little bit more time with this, and where you have the option of selecting the stretch course. So it's English 1AF or English 1AS for the spring, fall and spring. The reason this is important as well is because at your orientation, that's when you are choosing your classes. You are choosing which classes you are going to take. We do something called block scheduling, where we select 1 to 2 classes for you, but the rest are up to you. The time, the date, the professor, based off of what's available. So it's up to you to decide which English course you're taking, the semester or the full year. Now, in regards to math, this is where this website comes up of supported instruction, where you're able to see which math class is required or recommended for your major. If your major requires calculus and you are required to take the pre-calculus proficiency assessment, and how to contact the testing office if you already have AP or IB test scores for calculus AB, or you take in a community college class and pass that with a C- or better in calculus. So definitely read through that and contact supported instruction, contact testing if you have questions on that, if you're seeking a waiver for the math test, so which really is like only if you have an AP exam score already or a community college class of calculus with a C- or better. Now, not all majors require calculus. At the end of the day, we want to make sure that you are ready. I think the CSU, what I love about the CSU, so we pride ourselves on getting you ready for the workforce, for the current and future workforce demands. So we're not just going to say, take this class because, right? We're going to say, take this class because it's going to help you along with that field, with your career, with the type of math that your major, that your career is utilizing. So for example, we have those calculus-based majors such as aerospace engineering, business, chemical engineering, physics, software engineering, and all those listed here, which require you to take calculus or be calculus ready your first semester, at latest second semester. So do keep this in mind. Now, if you have not already taken calculus or you haven't registered for the pre-calculus placement assessment and you're in this major, it's great that you're here right now because you want to visit that website, you want to contact testing, get all that squared away. That way you can be on track and set and ready to go. Now, if you're not in any of these majors, right? I wasn't in this major. I was in sociology. So our major was, our math rather, was statistics. Where it has step 3 on the screen, you're going to see if you go to that website, there's several steps, starting with, are you in a calculus-based major? 2, if you're not sure if you need additional support, such as early start of those things, again, you'll be messaged that, but there's also some charts there to help you figure that out. And then lastly, step 3 of that page says, here's where you can explore and see either which math is required of your major or which math class is recommended for your major. So things like there's a class called Math and Music and Politics, which I would have never thought of, like, oh, do you need math? But yeah, that is a really great way to see how math applies to your specific field. So definitely take some time to research that, see what that is looking like, so you are aware of what classes you need to register for. Now, the other thing you want to keep an eye out for is an email from your high school counselor. Why is this? Because for your high school counselors, we are going to we are going to have a summer program where you are going to be able to join and for 2 weeks, meet with your academic advisor again, meet with the Career Center, student involvement, different areas, meet with your peer mentors. Our Spartan Eastside Promise program has peer mentors for you to help guide through this process. And if we don't know the answer, again, connect you, prepare you for that advising appointment so you can get to the people that can answer your questions the best. So the reason I say check out for an email from your counselor is because at every Eastside school, one counselor has been assigned to the summer program to be able to help you with this next step, to be able to guide you for those 2 weeks prior to your orientation. So it starts the 14th through the 25th. So you can be able to cover all that information that you need to get ready. It's that pre-orientation. I'll cover that in the next slide. These, once again, are the websites you want to be familiar with: supported instruction for that English and math requirement, testing, if you have questions about the PPA, My GPS and catalog.sjsu.edu. We're going to cover in depth during the summer program, but I wanted to highlight it here because a lot of times students ask, how do I know what classes to register for? Or how do I be able to graduate in 4 years? What does that look like for you? What's my plan? We have My GPS, so I think it's pretty cool. It's like a degree roadmap and several other e-advising tools to be able to show you these are the courses that are recommended for you to take in the order that it's recommended to take them to graduate in this time, or electives that are recommended, or GEs that are recommended to graduate in a more timely manner. Again, we're going to cover that in depth over the summer program, so I highly recommend that you sign up for that. But this is the information for the summer program. I just want to highlight that for you now so you have that idea, so you have that introduction to it. Summer program, again, is going to be from June 14th to June 25th from 1 to 3 p.m. Monday through Fridays only. It is there are 10 2-hour live sessions, as well as asynchronous opportunities to engage and connect with our team throughout the summer before you start in the fall. So ways for you to be able to learn more about the process of becoming a Spartan, ways to get connected, and just be ready, right? To have that community of support as well. So do keep this in mind. This resource is here for you. You can register at bit.ly/SJSU summer 21. So definitely make sure that you go ahead and register for that. It is a free program. That's something else as well, that it is a free program for you to engage with, to be able to have that live connection. So we do have a lot of different activities planned for you. So it's not just presentation style. It's not just, all right, I'm going to be, just listening to something every day. No, it's going to be interactive, engaging, an opportunity for you to have those conversations and build your peer support and your community of support. And it's virtual. So that's the other thing as well. This is not in person due to, safety, of course, but as it's virtual, you can do it from your laptop. You can do it from your phone. And like I said, while we have these live sessions, we are also having a Canvas show. So we're having a Canvas class where you're able to, if you can't attend the live session, watch the recording later on. Engage with what we call Nearpod activities, or self-paced activities. So that way, if you can't attend live, you can still get that learning experience. You can still get that information, connect with those resources on that self-paced way. So definitely, if you are interested in any way, and maybe you can't attend from that time, but you want that information, register at bit.ly/SJSU summer 21. This is for our Eastside Union High School District Spartan Summer Program. It is co-hosted by our department, our office, as well as the Eastside Union High School District and the Eastside Foundation Board, to be able to support you through this next step. So once again, you're going to be able to work with us, our team, Eric, our peer mentors. We're here year-round, as he put in the chat. Thank you so much, Eric. We're here year-round to support you, right? So it starts this summer. It starts with that first step of transition. So be able to connect with that community of support. Now, I see a lot of folks have started to join us again. That is great. So I just want to highlight, we do have our contacts here for you to connect with, all of their information. So take a screenshot, take a picture, whatever you need to do to connect with financial aid, our new student and family programs, testing, if you have those questions about the PPA, again, supported instruction. These are the contacts for you. So definitely make sure that you connect, that you, that you have this information and are ready, that if you don't know the answer, ask. We are here to help you. That's what we're here for, right? We've all had questions. We've all been through this before. So we want to make sure that you have that support. Lastly here, as we go through, our event is part of the Admitted Spartan Days, 2-week-long campus-wide event. Admitted Spartan Days is happening has started April 10th and continues through April 24th. So visit sjsu.edu/admitted Spartan Days to see all of our other sessions that are coming up, as well as if you missed the session, recordings are going to be posted in the next few days. So keep checking back, to see those recordings or engage in those live sessions. Some of them continue as well. So check that out. We have many campus departments that are here ready and excited to help you with this next step. Lastly, we're here again tomorrow. Becoming a Spartan is a 2-night event. So tonight focused on the academics, it focused on your major and how you can be able to get connected there. But tomorrow is going to be on student life, student support. So hear from our peer mentors, our intern as well, our coordinator will be taking the lead to cover all that information about student life, right? What it's like to be a student at San Jose State, to be able to hear about our support services, particularly of the Spartan Eastside Promise program, the workshops, the I'm not going to give too much away. You got to join us tonight for that. But if you have not already registered, it's the same link. It's the exact same Zoom link. So it is, you can register if you haven't, or if you have a friend that didn't get to attend, right? Have them register, and they can even be able to get the recording of tonight's session as well. So it is bit.ly/becoming-a-Spartan21. We will be here again tonight at 5:30 p.m. to build community, to make sure that you get your questions answered and just really be that support for you as well. Save the date for our summer program. Once again, plugging that again. It's a great program. I wish they had it when I was a student, but I'm so glad to be part of this now and be able to connect you, be able to meet all of you. And, you know, again, our goal is to make sure that you are supported, that your families are supported in this transition. College can truly, especially now, right, where a lot of, you know, we're doing this from home. It's a family experience. So we want to make sure that you and your families are ready for this next step. So the summer program registration is there. Thank you so much for putting that in the chat. And my contact information is here as well. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Our email, our website, our Instagram. I know our students, our intern and our peer mentors are really active on our Instagram. So if you have questions, you know, DM us directly and we'll be able to address those as well. We have our podcast. So our student ambassadors from Student Outreach have an amazing podcast talking about student life, about that transition from high school to college, as well as what life has been like at San Jose State, and a virtual front desk where you can be able to take a live virtual tour. It's really cool. So if you haven't visited campus, I highly recommend that you attend this live virtual tour. It's really great. You get to directly interact with our student ambassadors, ask questions. We're going to have another tour this Saturday, as well as a virtual resource fair this Saturday as part of Admitted Spartan Days. So definitely check that out. And thank you so much for joining tonight. If you have any other questions, go ahead and put that in the chat, but have a great rest of your evening, everybody. We hope to see you tomorrow as well. Take care.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you.